Good evening. Yeah, Chris is still in the green room getting ready off camera. Uh, so she'll be here in a minute. Hello, everyone. Friday night. Whoopee. Hello, Anna. Donna Marion. How are you? Allison. How are you? Okay, so good evening, Karen. How are you? So I just wanted to go over a few things, talk about a few things. Friday the 13th. You're right, Carmen. I forgot all about that. Hey, Barbara. Happy birthday again, Barbara. Hope it was a good one. Rhonda. Um, yeah, Friday the 13th. You know, I'm a real superstitious person, so I kept kind of waiting for bad things to happen today. And knock on wood, nothing really bad has happened. So it wasn't that bad of a day at all. Although I still have, 4 hours left? So I guess you never know. Danielle, Brenda, Mario, my friend, how are you? There comes the star of the show, making her way. Oh, no, she's going back that way again. She just passed right in front of me. Hey, Nancy, how you doing? Charlene, how are you? All right, so when I left you last, I was at the Creeper Gallery, and that was like a Friday the 13th because I got there, I drove there, and my weather app was telling me that it was just going to be cloudy. But as I'm driving, it's like getting darker and darker. Hey, Monica and Christopher, how are you? It's getting darker and darker, and I'm just like, wow, is it like getting darker earlier now in August? And I'm thinking maybe it's that time of the year where it's getting dark at like 7 o'clock. Hello, Carol. And I'm just driving like, okay, maybe it's getting dark, whatever. So, hey, Darlene. So I'm driving, and literally I park my car, and the sky opens up. And I'm like, oh, crap, because I got to carry a bunch of stuff down there with me. So I make my way down the hill, open the door, put my stuff inside. I go to turn the lights on, no power. And I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? And turn the lights on and off. I'm messing with the little dials down the bottom. Nothing's going on. So I'm sitting there like, okay, I could still do this without power because I don't really need power. It's going to be dark anyway. So I'm getting ready. I've got my flashlights, and I'm starting to move stuff around and set stuff up. Hey, Janet, Nancy, and Donna sends me a text, and she's just like, hey, we have no power here. Do you have power at the store? And I'm like, no. And literally when I got that text, the power came on. So then I started. That's why I got started a little late. Hey, Sharon, Janet, Laura Brown, how are you? So again, picking items out myself and setting everything up myself and making sure that the camera everything was in the frame is difficult enough. Hey, Nancy. So, it took me a while, and I didn't know what items I wanted to work with. So that took a while too. So I'm kind of looking around at all the different things, and I know, the doll that I wanted to do, the second doll, was something that I had planned because I know the person who was potentially going to buy it.
You wanted an umbrella.
Nobody even knows who that is.
You under an umbrella. Look, it doesn't that look like you? Look. Doesn't that look like him? That's him with an umbrella, right? And you're telling your rain story. Just made me. I just thought of that, and I'm like, that looks like him. It looks like him, doesn't it, people? Hey, everybody. You don't think that don't look like you? People, consensus. Does that not look like John? Let me see if I get this right. Doesn't that look like John? Right? John with an umbrella. Right? There you go. So anyways, your first item up for bid?
No, you interject it now.
No,
you take the reins. No.
That's all I wanted to do was that looks like you. You were talking about the rain and GPS and all that stuff, and you looked up the thing, and it said no rain, and it was pouring down. I looked over.
That's what I said.
I saw my little guy, and he looks just like you. So, yeah. Yep. Let's go.
Oh, you done?
Yes.
No. I thought maybe you had more to say.
No.
John has better coloring though, not as plastic. Thank you, Karen. Close enough, Chris. Yes, 100%. So where was I again before? This is what I deal with at every event we do and everything we do. It is just something that I should be used to, but
He thinks I'm
unfortunately,
him. I'm not. You think he'd
unfortunately,
learn?
I have to kind of go back
I
on
mean,
track after every thing
yes.
that I do and figure out where I was and what I was saying. So
He's so smart. He can handle it, right?
yeah,
Yes.
lucky for you.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I don't even remember the first item that I worked with, honestly, because I'm drawing a blank. Do you guys remember what was the first one that I worked with? I remember the second one was the doll, and the third one was the picture of the family. But what the heck was the first item that I worked with? I don't. God, I'm telling you, I'm like, I need to stop taking that
Wasn't a
melatonin.
wax or anything? Wax doll?
No, the doll was the second thing that I worked with. The first thing that I worked with, holy water. Bingo. Thank you, Karen. Hey, Allison. Uh, yeah, I remember that story now too. That was the holy water that the woman lost her daughter Grace at the age of 12. Her name was Sarah. See, I'm getting there. Her name was Sarah. Again, my daughter's name is Sarah. She lost her daughter at the age of 12, and the other child was stillborn. And I think the holy water supposedly belonged to Grace. Don, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But that was pretty good right off the bat. There was some good stuff there that I got, and I try to plan it out always to the items to like. I like to save in my brain. I want to save what I think is the best one for last. But and the little booklet, right? And the spirit box said booklet. I said, what is this? What is this? And it said booklet. And I think I got some EVPs off of that one too. But what I thought was going to be the best item, honestly, was the creepy picture of the family. It was the old man, the old woman, and then the younger woman kind of belonged to Sarah. Right. Oh, the holy water belonged to Sarah. So, but that first item was pretty good. And again, being there alone, it was pouring rain outside. There wasn't anybody on the street at all. And then I closed the curtain to make it even more isolated, to make it darker in the red room. And if you guys notice, again, this is a sidebar. How many figures did you see on the SLS the entire time? If you watched that, I couldn't see it from my perspective because I was in front of the camera. But as far as I know, there wasn't one.
Really?
Not one the entire time. And that goes to none, right? And that, again, we're in that room all the time and none. We're in that room all the time. And if that SLS is just mapping random objects,
then it would do it all the time.
It would definitely have mapped something within that hour and a half, 2 hours that I was
Absolutely.
there. And not one time did it map something, which again stands to reason that when it is mapping something in that room, there might be something there moving around. I was on YouTube, but I was there alone. The party's here on Facebook. Yeah, I just decided to go on YouTube as well because it's for the Instagram people so that they could watch. So no, not a software bug. It's just there was nothing to map, which again, for me, I like it better that way because I don't want something appearing every time we do something to make it look like the SLS isn't working. So that was pretty cool. So then that doll, and I don't know if I could say who's buying it, Donna. Could I say that? I don't know if the person's still buying it. But that doll, somebody mentioned to me that they were buying it. And I said, okay, well, I'll work with that this week so you can see for yourself what there is or if there's anything. Oh, I can say it. Donna's partner, his name is Rick, and his husband, John. John's there every Saturday, most every Saturday, working at the store. Good guy, outgoing guy, funny guy, really nice guy. We were talking on the phone with him, and he mentioned that doll, and I said, okay, then when we're in there, I'll do it next time. And that was a surprise because, oh yeah, it was a bit of a trickster. There were things happening that took me by surprise that I didn't expect. Again, the doll's not. It doesn't appear to be really old. Um, hey, Amanda, but it really was kind of like messing with me as far as things that were happening, taps on the glass, noises on the outside, and it really was just kind of messing with me. It was pretty cool in the cat ball, like the cat ball, kept touching the cat ball, and it was one of those things where it was just I didn't expect it at all. And Doll is 100 years old. Okay, I didn't
Just in
expect
good
it at
shape.
all. So I'm doing this, and I'm wondering, what is John thinking? Not me, John, the other John, who's supposedly going to buy it. I'm thinking, is he still going to want this thing after, it's because you never know. Some people don't want.
I mean,
it's not malicious, but it was a trickster. It was definitely more active than I thought it would be, and that kind of was like, for me, it was cool, but I'm not bringing it home with me, you know? So I'm wondering, and I do that with all the items that we work with, especially the ones where Donna will message me and tell me that, hey, John, that, somebody wants to buy this item, could you investigate it next, or this item and that item? And I always think, okay, if they see what they see, whether there's something or nothing, is it going to affect the sale or how people perceive it? And I know that's why she wants us to investigate it, because she wants to give people an idea of
what they're dealing with,
yeah,
like what you might be purchasing.
Right.
So
yeah. It goes through my head, and when that doll was doing what it was doing, it wasn't, again, nothing bad. I never felt scared. I never felt like it. I just felt like it was messing with me the whole time, just messing with me. And I got some good EVPs, and there were other things happening, like I said, on the outside, and that was the 3 knock. I did the, could you knock 3 times on the floor? And I got a male voice like right beside me in the room too that I caught on the recorder. I heard it, and I told them I heard it, and I caught it on the recorder too.
Do you know what it said? Cool. Or?
No, it was a male voice. It was just a sound. Hey, Kim, how are you?
It's a Jane from Orlando, Florida. Hi. I just said it because I just saw it.
She thinks she's a radio DJ. She thinks she needs to announce names and where they're from.
No, I just saw it. That was all. I know people there.
Okay. Please talk about them.
No.
Let's have a discussion about people from Florida.
That's not what. No, I'm just saying I know people in Florida.
It was a male voice too, which again, loud knocks. Which again, it's a female doll, dressed really nice, in good condition, and I was wondering who the heck is the person, that's attached to this thing because of the stuff that was going on.
Had a hat on her?
Yeah. Lots of things outside the red room. So that was the second thing that really was really kind of cool. Again, I was really surprised by that. There's some items that I look at, and again, I just did that because I knew John was buying it. Otherwise, that doll would have never made it out. Not for me. I mean, one of you guys or Donna told me to do it, I would have done it. But just looking at it and getting a vibe, I'd be like, next, what else we got there?
Is it a regular doll or is it a wax doll?
It's kind of a waxy, I guess.
So it's a wax doll.
What they're made of, but yeah, it took me by surprise. Really cool surprise too. So then, the last item I was thinking of working with was that picture of the older man and the older lady, and then there's a woman standing in the middle, and it just, again, the look of it I thought was kind of creepy, and I'm like, I may be able to tap into something with this thing, and I didn't know that it was part of the whole Freda family.
Oh.
Those were her relatives. And they were very standoffish and weren't really responding to much of anything. And I kind of got the feeling like, again, I was talking about what happened to Freda and her children. And I got the feeling that they weren't really on board yet, just meeting me for the first time and me being there alone, asking those questions. So I did ask them at some point, look, if you're not okay with this and you don't want me talking about this or questioning you about this, then you light up anything over there and I'll stop this right now and I won't pursue it anymore. And the tripwire lights,
get out,
quick, boom, boom. And I said, okay.
Okay, that's
and
it.
At that point in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, there's the little part of my brain that goes, we made contact. Should we pursue this contact and just see if I can get an EVP or two, a voice, a male, a female, just so I at least have an idea for next time if I could approach them. And then there was the other part of my brain that says, if they're saying it's a no go, then let it be a no go and just stop. And that's what I did, even though, again, it was.
And the way you do things, you push back, and like you try to keep going to see if you can get that answer and stuff, but you decided to not do that after getting that response and just let it go. And maybe next time we go back in, you'll get more of a response the next time, you think, being that you showed that yes, no.
Do you literally just listen to me and
Yes.
then repeat what I
But
say?
I'm asking you.
I
after
just
you
said exactly what you said.
But I'm asking you, do you think when you go back in because you did that, it is
I
going
don't
to-
know, but I wanted to respect the family's feelings and wishes and just leave it at that. Because I asked, they gave me the sign, the response, and that was enough.
It'd be cool to see that if maybe you won their trust, that you followed through with that and you said, hey, I respect you, so maybe next time they'll be more forthcoming with interacting. That would be really cool to see.
Didn't you say maybe next time? Yeah, I did say that, and I meant that because again, if that's something, I would start out the way I finished. If I did bring that item out again, or if we were together and we bring it out again, the very first thing I would ask next time was, "Do you remember me? Are you okay with continuing?" If I get nothing, then say, "Okay, do you still not want to be bothered and not want to talk?" And I get something, then back it goes. I mean, especially something a touchy subject like that when it was grandkids and family, and sometimes they don't want to interact and they don't want to be bothered, and they'll let you know one way or another, if that's the case. So I did finish kind of early. I think I finished at 10. There was nobody on the roads on the drive back. It was pitch black and it was still kind of raining a little bit, so I drove with the high beams on like the whole way because it was just nobody out there, which was kind of weird. But it was a good night, and I, again, investigating alone sometimes is worth the chance because sometimes things happen, and when you're alone, there's nothing you could do about it except go with the flow. And even if something happened and I had to stop because something fell off a wall or something went flying, I still wasn't going to leave my equipment there. I'd be packing up all my stuff with things flying around me, trying to get out of there and lock the door so Donna wouldn't kill me.
That's too much. But I actually wanted, because I think I told you about the one thing when I came back from having lunch with both of my daughters grew up with this girl. She was a childhood friend of theirs. She called me up and wanted to meet me for lunch earlier in the week, and the anniversary of my daughter's passing is coming up, and I thought it was kind of along the lines of that, and it kind of was, but she actually wanted to tell me about a visitation that she had from Christina, and they both had lost touch with each other. At one point, my daughter had reached out to her to connect again, but it wasn't a good time for her friend at that point. And then when things were good for her, things weren't good for my daughter. So they were still working on when it was going to be perfect when my daughter passed. And Alyssa has felt very guilty over this for ever since she found out Krista passed. And so she came to tell me, and she was having a hard time telling me, and she's not a demonstrative person. She's very reserved and she keeps everything to herself. And she just busted out crying at a diner, and she told me that her daughter came to her and made her feel what she felt, because my daughter struggled with depression and a lot of the stuff in her head. And she said, if any human being lives with that feeling, I don't know how she lived as long as she lived. And she was just crying. And I'm saying this because right after having that with her, I get a call from my sister in Texas who just got off a plane and was getting her bag and looked up, and there was a woman that was like my daughter. And she was like, I swear to God, it was Krista. And when she a voice, one of the kids next to her said something, she turned and then went back to go to the woman who looked like my daughter, and she was gone. She just disappeared, and it freaked my sister out. And then right after that call, my daughter Rebecca calls me from Florida. She says, Mom, you're never going to believe this. We took Cam out swimming, my grandson, and his father, that he was in the water swimming, and he all of a sudden gets out of the water and he comes running right out. And Becca, like, what's going on? He said, I swear to God, I just saw your sister standing on the beach with a white hat. We got to go find her. And there was no woman on the beach at all with a white hat on, and there wasn't that many people there. So with all of these different things consecutively happening pretty much around the same time or in that same, time period, what does that mean spiritually? What does that mean in the bigger picture of what's going out there in the world when it comes to paranormal? Because she connected with my sister in Texas. She connected with my brother-in-law, my son-in-law in Florida, and she connected here in New Jersey with a school friend who she lost touch with. I mean, what the heck? And I mean, it just seems to me that there's more and more questions I have about all of this and what does it mean? Because we talk about, do you call spirits in? Do they come when you need them? What precipitates that type of a thing for 3 different people in 3 different states?
I would think the time of it happening is not coincidental.
Do you think it's because of the month of her passing?
Yeah.
And that her anniversary is on 17th?
A lot of people's thoughts are there, and makes it easier.
You think that there's like a veil that's...
I think it makes it easier when you have that kind of mass
emotions, maybe?
Emotion and want to communicate and know, you know what I mean? And remember that. I think it makes it easier, on that side,
But even the uniquely part, okay, there's that part. But what about the uniqueness of the fact is that she made herself known in 3 different states and even on a different time.
That's why I think the channels are more open, because people are.
But one spirit,
yeah,
doing all of this and different. I mean, it just honestly, when I kept getting these consecutive calls and people were saying, it just blew my mind of like, what are we dealing with and how is this possible? There's so much more we don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on the other side of it is like, when am I going to see her? Isn't that crazy? That's what popped in my head.
I can't explain any of it. Never could. Nor can I even try because I don't know.
My son-in-law doesn't believe in this stuff. And that man got out of the water, ran out there because he swore up and down he saw Rebecca's sister. And he was freaking out over it. I mean, that in itself is just like, I don't know. It was just something I'm just like, I'm trying to cope with it in many different levels. And what does that mean?
What?
Just.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I'm just like the possibilities. It's just there's so much more. And how do we get that type of more? Does it mean not only do we have to have an open mind, but we need to be emotionally open as well?
Quantum physics. I know that's a big part of it, Lewis, if you believe in that. And it's true because it is science and it is what the universe is made of. I believe more along those lines than I do of a religious type of, but then people will tell you that, somebody created all of the universe. So, I mean, it kind of intermingles. She reached out to you because he doesn't believe. Well, again, there's a lot of theories and speculation, and you know, the truth is none of us know, you know, and by the time we get the handbook and the instructions and we figure it out for ourselves, it'll probably be when we're on that side of it, you know, where we're like, oh, okay, that's how, that's why.
Yeah, I just wanted to express that again. This happening, obviously, you know, it's an emotional time period this month, but it blows my mind that these three people, okay, my sister lives in Texas. I think my sister April has seen my daughter a handful of times, if that, in her lifetime. Okay, so, and Mike came into their lives what, 7-8 years ago, right? And I mean, and then and he doesn't believe in this. And then you have Alyssa, who has been out of my daughter's life for a good 10 years. And these are the people that Alyssa, because Alyssa feels guilty. She had to make her feel what she was feeling. It was important for some reason. And Alyssa, again, doesn't believe in this, but she says, I know it wasn't a dream. I can't wrap my brain around this. I don't understand this. So it's just, for me, trying to make sense of all of these three things, these three incidents happening in the same time period with the month that it is and what's coming up. Again, I'm just like, is there a message in all of this? Is it something that we're supposed to be learning from? Is a way to show us that there's so much more than we could possibly comprehend? Is it about being not just being open, you know, we say open your third eye, be open to it, you know, do your meditation, whatever, but is it more? Is it also an emotional connection and not just a science side of it?
Again, if it were emotional, then I would be having conversations with my mother every night.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
I don't
mean?
know. Maybe it's there's a combination. That's what I'm saying. It just seems like the more things that happen, the more questions, the more confused. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm baffled by this. I mean, I am happy that these three people had this, but again, it's baffling to me, and I'm trying to make sense of it. 3 different states, a time change over in Texas.
But
It's just, but yeah, why can't it be though? Why don't you think of these things? If you think scientific,
people,
because when you're dead,
said,
that's
it's
assumed.
Not relevant. Well,
it's assumed.
Okay.
It's assumed. I don't know. It's like I said, that's how my brain is going. I just like, it's going all over everywhere over this. Obviously.
Yeah, there are no easy answers. That's
and I am
problem.
Overly emotional right now. Of course.
But there are no obvious answers or easy answers to any of it, ever. And that's the problem. We try to make sense of the incomprehensible. That's the problem. We as humans are limited in our understanding. This is what I've been saying forever. We are so limited in our understanding of what the universe is and what happens after, that we're thinking with human brains, you know, monkey brains compared to the what is the universe.
But you want me to tell you something that I thought about? You know how you think about, why would Hannah Caldwell haunt the courthouse, and compared to the house where she died and was murdered, and her house was burnt down with her kids there?
I'm just afraid what you're going to say.
No, it's just like, this defies, for me, now I know, because of these three people in my life, and her childhood friend calling me and needing to speak to me, my sister calling me, and then my daughter calling me, and all 3 of these experiences happening. So can spirit divide and let spirit be wherever it needs to be, no matter what, in multiple places, with multiple people at different times,
I don't know.
Same time? It's like crazy. It's like, again, this is like,
and again, you're talking about so many different probabilities.
Yeah.
The channeling probability that if you are in that mode and you're thinking of that person and you're wanting whatever, is it possible to channel them somehow in through a dream
But
or
here's the
a
thing.
vision at that time? Or
Okay, but let's take that theory. My sister got off a plane back home in Texas from a vacation. She's there with all of her family. She's not thinking of anything to do with Christina. She's just grabbing her bag off the conveyor belt and boom, turns around.
and there's no such thing as you either, Cynthia. Goodbye.
And she turns around and she hears a person that sounds just like Christina. And she was just like and then when she turned back around, the woman was gone. Boom, gone. And then the woman on the beach with Mike, who he said he swore up and down that it was Christina. And then you had Alyssa, who had the visitation from her. It's just.
No, Lewis is right. All of these time, years, birthdays, that humans created that, based on the rising and setting of the sun. I mean, so this is a human world that we live in. This isn't the spirit world that we live in. The rules here may be completely opposite and different beyond.
And we did time measures and rules and stuff so that we could have what we call organized, well laid out purpose in life from the time we're born, we're told this is the step we're supposed to follow through life, A, B, C, and D and what your goals are supposed to be. But when you're gone in your spirit, it's like those restrictions are all gone. So
no, I don't think you would ever go to a medium and talk about any of this stuff.
No.
I don't blame you. I'm just saying, I don't think you would.
No, I wouldn't. And nothing against that for anybody. It's just no. For me, no.
No, I get that. I mean,
no.
It's an individual choice, and I get it, respect it. I wouldn't do it either, but that's me. But yeah, unfortunately, there's more questions than answers always, and every time you get an answer that open that box, it leads to 100 other questions that will make no sense.
My brain is racing over this. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I'm chatty catty here where I'm normally not, but my brain is. It's been racing since they talked to me from and told me these things. It's just been this has been since what, Monday?
Yeah, but again, the way it works or doesn't work doesn't make sense either. You know what I mean? So I mean,
my sister believes in this, by the way.
But that's what's confusing all the way around. You know what I mean? The way it works or doesn't work. I mean, mediums will tell you a million different things, but like you said, Gary Golka, the guy who invented the Spirit Box and the REM Pod, he said he's learned to do a meditative thing where he could actually have physical visitation with his daughter, where she appears in a lucid state when he's in trance-like mode, and he can talk to her and actually hug her. And I'm like, okay, if that's possible, why can't I even have a dream about my mother? You know what I mean? Like, even the most minuscule form of contact, why don't I get that? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not like I don't want it. I want it every day. I'd love to see her and talk with her.
I had a dream about my mom where my mom asked me to let her go. What?
That's funny.
I had a dream about my mother where she asked me to let her go. It was a dream visit.
Sorry about that.
We do that a lot.
How do we get rid of
John's
this?
trying to get rid of something to get rid of that thing on the screen.
I don't know how to get rid of it. Oh, that was me. I love how she just sits there and laughs as I try to do things, and then just doesn't.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I don't know how to get rid of that, but all right, we'll deal with it.
I can't read it, so I don't know what it says.
This idiot, the real Cynthia, spirit is a made-up thing. It is pinned. I don't know how to remove it. There we go. she's two.
And again, why?
She's come from two different. She was Cynthia, the real Cynthia. Now she was the real Cynthia too. So she came in with a second.
And then came back with it. And
Yeah.
again, why are you on this page if you don't believe this stuff?
'Cause idiots
Don't
like to
don't come in
start
on this
trouble.
stuff and start trouble, because I am in a very volatile mood.
Oh, what are you going to do? You're going to go find them?
Yes. Give her a piece of my.
There are plenty of them out there. Anyway, so you know, one of the other things I wanted to talk about was yeah, trolls. They're everywhere. We get a million of them. We're doing the Strauss Mansion tomorrow night, and it's going to be hot. It's hot. It's so hot in Jersey. I mean, it's like 100 degrees today. Miserable hot. And tomorrow we have an event in a huge mansion with no air conditioning, so that should be fun. You know, if you want to wear masks, you know, you're welcome to wear one if that's, you know, what you want to do. And I think we're going to be heading in that direction fairly soon with our events, you know, everyone wearing masks. But if you want to wear one tomorrow, then yes, by all means, you can wear one. No one's going to say anything to you. You know, we're going back and forth whether or not we should wear one or not. We're heading in that direction. But the other thing I want to mention to the people that are coming, you know, dress cool. Tanya and Kenny will not be there. So we asked Robert and Sandra, friends of ours. We had Robert on a while ago from Beer Fort Paranormal. Him and his wife have their own paranormal group, and Robert has every gizmo gadget under the sun. And Robert and I are very like-minded when it comes to investigative techniques and our opinions and our theories. So they helped us out at the mine before.
Yeah.
So they're going to be there with us tomorrow night. So we'll still be breaking into 3 groups. We're going to do things a little differently. So, you know, it should be fun. And like I said, I can't wait to go tomorrow. It's going to be hot, Nancy. I'm just warning you in advance. That building gets really hot. So it should be fun. Again, we only ask people to come help us out, you know, when we need it. And we only work with people that we kind of have an idea of what they do and how they work. And Sandra and Robert are good people. And like I said, they've been doing this a while and friends of ours. So it'll be cool to have them there. So,
yeah.
You know, so that's what'll be happening tomorrow night when you come to the Strauss Mansion. If you're coming, like I said, it's going to be warm. But 3rd floor, yes, boiling. And
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, you'll be fine. Just, you know, bring a cool drink. It goes pretty fast. The nights always go kind of fast. It gets cooler when it gets dark, so it'll be fine. We've been there before. And we're doing the Strauss Mansion again September 18th. So most of the events up to that event, I think they're all sold out up to the September 18th event. Sterling Hill Mine, 28th is sold out. Whatever's on September 4th, I think that's Camp Evans, maybe. That's sold out. Then we've got the Barron Art Center sold out. And Strauss Mansion on the 18th is the next one that has tickets available. The ones after that are selling pretty good too, so they won't be available for long. So that's what we're doing. And again, we're playing the Delta thing by ear. So if you need to, we think masks are needed, we'll tell you. We'll put it out there. That are my sister and I look forward to. Good, Tiffany. We look forward to seeing you guys too. But if you want to wear one, by all means, wear one. If you need the protection or you want to, if you feel better wearing it, I completely understand. Like I said, we're probably heading in that direction ourselves, you know, where we're kind of keeping an eye on all these different things and the sites, what they're telling us. So we did have a really good meeting Tuesday night.
Yep.
We didn't even talk about that. We went out to dinner with 3 lawyers. That was fun. Here we are, you know, we're us. We're us, and we're with these 3 people that are lawyers and you know,
out of our
have been
element.
practicing law for
Yes.
30 plus years and funny thing was, I lived in the same town as the couple, for a while, and they knew Woodbridge and they knew a lot of the places we had been, so that made it easier to connect. But they've got two really cool locations that they're saying are active that they want us to come and check out. So, um, I looked them up. I really, did a brief research history on them, just what's on Wikipedia and on their website. Got to go for a deeper dive, but the buildings themselves are pretty cool looking, and they're really, really old. So we got to meet with them, and when we do get into the investigation, and really deep dive into who lived there, how many people passed in the building, and that whole thing. So, but cool buildings, and they're both in North Jersey. So, it's funny because the people we were meeting with one of them was from South Jersey, and if you're not from Jersey, you don't get this whole thing. But the people from South Jersey act like they're from a whole different planet than the people from North Jersey. It's like this bizarre thing, like the way they talk about coming to North Jersey, and it's like, dude, you're an hour away. Come on, So,
good night, Sharon.
So, that'll be something as well moving forward that, that we're doing, down the road. There's so much that we could be doing that we really do have to kind of plan and, figure out what we want to do, especially next year. We're going to go into next year with the mindset of really picking and choosing what we want to do and where we want to do it, because, doing 24, 25, 26 events a year is just a little much as we get older, and again, with all that's going around, you just, you can't just do those things like you used to, and take those kind of chances. So we'll do what we can. So, the Creeper Gallery as well. We talked about a December event there, and I think that's going to happen. It's just a matter of working that out with Donna, where we, really figure out what that event's going to look like. I'd like to see, maybe closer to Christmas time, where we were able to have, maybe multiple sessions, because we only did 2 hours the first time. Yeah. So do 2 hours with one group and then maybe 2 hours with another group later on, because we could start earlier in December. So we could, in theory, start an event at 6, 7 o'clock, finish at 9, turn around and do the next one, at 9 to 11 or whatever. So I think we're going to do that. I think it's going to be a good time, And then, next week we're going to the Battlefield Bash. Yeah, she's excited, as you could tell.
I am. But I'm also, I am very excited about it.
Thank you. Yeah. So that's next week. I mean, get the where's Timmy? Get Timmy out of here.
Usually he wants me to be quiet.
Yeah.
But no.
Good. Thank you. That was really expanding upon what you said there. Yeah.
I'm excited about going to the Battlefield Bash and just, again, the fact that we get to go somewhere and we get to sit down there and we get to be at a table and we get to enjoy it and not be stressed out over the event, putting the event together and stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I'm looking forward to what we like to do, is that when those doors close and the event's over, the bash is over, we go out all over Gettysburg because we love it. We go out onto the battlefield itself when it's dark, because it'll be dark by then.
It's not this hot. If it's this hot,
no, it can't be. But it might be.
You never know. You never know.
I'll pray for no rain.
No, next week's supposed to be like in the 80s, I think.
So it's reasonable.
Yeah.
We just got to pray for no rain.
Right.
And if that happens, then we're good.
But the good thing about their convention is it's from 12 to 6, I think, most nights or something.
Yeah, it is 12 to 6.
And you get out of there early. You can go hang out and go get some food. You go to the hotel. You shower.
My favorite part of the whole entire time is when we walk around. No, because I was still. is when we walk around and you do the live videos. Like we come across bands playing, we come around, like the last time that we had gone there and that guy was dressed as a, what was he? He was dressed like a swamp thing. And then it turned out that they had people that were dressing in all these kind of things for this Hallows Eve or something, which was pretty cool. Very
Oh, I
cool.
just did it again.
What is it?
Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna have a great time. Again, this Delta thing is, again, got everybody concerned. Um, you know, so we're kind of, it's in the back of our minds as we go out there, and how many people we're going to be around and what that's going to be like, and and we have our own thing that September 25th that we're dealing with everything related to the convention, and it's the same thing, just kind of keeping an eye on things, meeting with the township, trying to figure out
The do's and don'ts?
yeah, because I mean they change every day. So we have a meeting with the township on August 23rd, and we'll be able to outline exactly what that convention is going to look like. So that's what we're dealing with. But we're hoping that things kind of stay the same, and we're able to do our events. And night, Amanda. And we'll keep doing the lives because we enjoy doing it. We're gonna do a lot of lives from Gettysburg for sure. I mean, that's going to be a whole weekend full of lives from different places at different times.
That's my
within the
favorite part.
convention, around the town, people we're hanging out with. So that should be fun. A whole weekend of that. So again, something to look forward to, and as well as trying to find more people to interview. Jefferson, of course, will be back on again because I have that dream that I've been holding on to for a while now that I still have on my phone. But we're going to keep trying to do things with the live feeds and setting up things. Chris did her one tower reader, so she's good for at least another 10 years after that.
Easily.
So it's up to me to really book,
Yes.
everybody from here on out.
Right?
It's just the way it is.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, I know. All too well.
You're the brains.
So that's what to expect tomorrow. Like I said, working with Bob and Sandra. Like I said, Bob is like James Bond. He's got more gadgets than I could ever afford. So he's going to have a lot of stuff wherever he goes. So we're going to try to, again, do it a little different where people can move around on their own and go to different places and do different things. So you'll be with us for a while, but then maybe we're going to do people can go anywhere and do different things if they want. We'll still be there investigating, but you'll be able to mix it up.
Yeah.
Haven't missed you talking about the TV show you can't talk about, did I? Nancy.
Don't get him started, Nancy.
Poke that bear, Nancy. The show. We're still the show we finished is finished. We're just gonna be working on the editing part of it in September. So that's one thing separate. That will again that's the big story, that one. When it's all said and done and we're able to talk about that one, that's going to be the big story. So that's one to look forward to, but it's going to be a while. The other show, I had to film a video of me just like outside of me saying, I'm John Ruggiero from New Jersey Paranormal. And I had to film it 2 or 3 times and send it to this producer to be part. Again, I'm like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? They're like, just, and they sent me an example of what they wanted me to do. And I'm like, all right, so you did that. Do I do that? Or do I just take a video of me standing still and just do what I did? And I'm like, okay. And I did what they did, the example. So I had to, I did that. And I sent the still picture as well. And I waited to hear back from that. And they said it was good enough. So now I'm waiting to hear if it's, what's the next step. I'm sure paperwork will be involved, like with the first show. And then, like I said, there's a chance that I could be flying out to the West Coast in October, which would be really, really cool. What's this show? Come on. I can't. I wish I could say it. I really do.
It's a show on TV. How's that?
Yeah, you sign paperwork, but you can't talk about it. And the funny thing is, I don't want to get, because I'll give it away if I just say that. The funny thing is that they don't have the same restrictions on their end.
All right, that's it.
No, but you know what I mean.
I do, but
and when I see that, and I'm like, well, I can't say anything, but you just did what you just did. It doesn't make sense, you know. But yeah, it'll come out when it's supposed to come out. But yeah, we're being involved in the editing is very, very important because they film so much, and that was a concern of the lady around the corner from us, Tyrene. She owns this house called the Ayers House, and Alexander Holzer and what was the medium's name? I can't remember.
Ethel.
Ethel. Yeah, Ethel Myers.
Yep.
They did a seance there 60 years ago, however long it was, and the Holzer Files, the show, came in and filmed in their house, and I was talking to her during that whole process, Tyrene, the woman who owns the house, and we actually had her on here, and she was saying they filmed so much that I don't know what they're going to use. She said they were really, really nice to me, really, really respectful of the house, didn't do anything bizarre and weird. She's like, but there were times when they were filming me and asking me questions where it was kind of goofy. You know what I mean? And she's like, I could come off looking like a real wacko. So she was kind of nervous about that, and it's the same with us. We filmed a lot of different stuff, and my concern is how they're going to put all that together and which order and how that's going to make us, appear on the show. That's my concern. So the fact that they're letting me especially be involved in that, so they say, is really, really important because I'm a control freak. And the fact that our material, our stuff is out there somewhere without me having any control over how we're portrayed really is a bad feeling for me. I don't like that one bit.
No, there was no makeup, no trailer, no drinks, no nothing. That's what she has, was her makeup.
No, they don't do that at all. I mean, they do it for
they
the
do it
people
for
on
the
the show,
celebs,
sure.
but yeah, no.
I mean, but for people like us, we won't tell anyone honest. I forgot to tell you the book. Get your book, John. Oh, yeah, that's right. One thing I will tell you, and I'm not giving away the show at all, they wanted us to investigate the building, and they wanted to film us, okay? And we didn't know, again, from a production standpoint, how they were going to do that, because we had filmed other stuff with them where you're just standing there and there are a bunch of cameras around you and they're filming you talking and walking. But the investigation part, again, from a production point, we know what we do, but we don't know how they do what they do. And we weren't able to watch these people investigate. We weren't there the first night when they investigated. So they invite us to investigate, and Tanya and I were there. That part I can tell. It was Tanya and I investigating together. And Tanya and I literally walked into the building. And again, we thought we were going to get instructions. We thought they were going to tell us, what they were thinking, what they captured, and blah, blah, blah. And we literally walked in. We go up some steps. There's a girl there, a woman there who puts the microphones on you. She puts the pack on your back. She feeds it up through your shirt and she clips it. And again, it's like the weirdest thing that we walk up another set of steps and we're in this big room, completely dark, this room, except for people holding lanterns, big lanterns. The camera's already rolling. We walk in and it's like, we're like blocking out the light from the lanterns because there's so many of them. And the crew, whose name I can't say, literally said, all right, Tanya and John, you go do your thing. And we were like,
Okay.
that's it. And next thing we know, the camera guy's like pointing for us to go in a direction. So I grabbed a lantern, Tanya grabbed a lantern, and away we went.
Hi-ho. It's off.
It was the
We
most
go.
bizarre thing because, again, it was just like, we were like, all right, again, this is how they film things. They get footage of this and that and all this other stuff, and then they put it together. Like I'm watching Ghost Adventures. I love Ghost Adventures. You guys know that. And even I'm getting a little, man, this is getting kind of boring with Ghost Adventures because they seem to have some kind of formula now where that they're repeating where, Zach walks in and I feel this, I'm going up the stairs and I feel this. And it's just like, okay, that's like the setup all the time for what and they got some awesome EVPs this last show. I don't know if you watched it. And that was cool. That was enough. But, then they throw in this other stuff and it just feels like it's very,
Stage?
nuts. I would never say staged. You
Well,
said
what'd you say?
staged.
I'm asking where you headed.
It's a formula.
Okay.
Staged. Okay, we do run a paranormal convention, by the way, and saying that the celebrity stage things is probably a no-no.
For
Just
who?
saying. For the people that run a convention that it pays celebrities to come. Maybe. Sort of. I quit watching. I don't like either one of those shows, Nancy, to be honest with you. But again, different. And there will come a time where I can tell everything and
No, you
exactly
can't.
what. Sure, I can.
No, you can't.
Sure, I can. Well, look, who's the person who's saying they stage things is telling me.
I
not
didn't
to
say.
say
I
anything.
said, do you think that the way you were hinting? I was like, you're
I
trying
wasn't
to like
hinting to any of that. I don't know where that came from.
formula, whatever.
That's a big difference between saying that and that.
Potato.
No, it's really not.
Yes, it
People
is.
staging
Tomato,
things
tomato.
means they're faking things.
No.
There's a big difference.
No.
I would
Meaning that
never
when they
say
know
any show
that something is
fakes
coming
anything.
from a certain perspective. For me, I understand that people have feelings with
There
stuff.
we go.
No, hush up. Just let's see where I'm going with this. Is people have feelings, and yes.
No, Richard, I don't like that show.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're reading. So listen. When people have feelings and they say, "Oh, I feel this" or whatever, the problem with that is when it's okay to have that and put that out there, but if that's all there is, and you're how do the audience or the people that you're trying to engage or to show what's going on, how can they relate to that and engage with that if that's all there is? I'm just saying generally, not on a show, generally. If all we did on a live was like, I feel a shadow over there, and there's nothing that anyone sees that's out there watching the live, and they're just going by what we say, not by what they're seeing themselves, not by what's happening around us that they can visualize and they can hear for themselves. How does that make it interactive for those that are watching, for those who are doing? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how any of that relates to staging.
Okay. I didn't say staging. I'm just saying, with this whole thing with the
I would
feeling
never say anybody, anywhere, YouTube, Facebook, TV, whatever. I would never say anyone stages anything because you just don't do that.
But you see, you're stuck. That's not what I was just saying. I'm away from that. I was away from that.
Okay.
That was ended. You brought it up again. I was talking about if all we ever did on a live was say, I feel this. Oh my God, did you see off in that corner? I'm not talking about them. I'm saying in general. In general, we're generalizing. We're not bringing any show. I'm just saying on the other end of that, if I am watching anyone that's doing a live, doing a show or anything, and the whole entire time that I'm watching this, for whatever time it is, and it's all about, oh, there's something over there. Did you see the shadow people? Not caught on camera. Oh, I heard something over there, but nobody else heard. Oh, I have this feeling, but yet those feelings can't be projected to me. To me, that's a waste of my time, because then I feel like I'm watching a bunch of nothing. Now, if that goes along with things that happen, and that things that are visual and things that we can hear, then I'm okay with it. Does that make sense? As long as they're all together.
Perfect sense.
He
Perfect
mocks me,
sense.
but you all get what I'm trying to
Perfect
say,
sense.
right? Thank you. And this guy would say the same thing, even if he doesn't say it the
No,
way I say it.
I've been in this field long enough to know that you can't document everything and that you can miss. I've missed
agree.
a million things on camera
That's not what
that
we're
I've
debating.
seen and experienced.
That's not what I'm debating. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
You're right,
that's
Carmen.
all there is.
You're right, Carmen. I do need to remember that.
Oh, don't get him
Thank you,
started,
Carmen.
Carmen. He's not the victim
You're right,
here.
Carmen.
Trust me.
I just have to nod and agree. That's it. Nod and agree.
No. You wanted me to speak? I'm speaking.
Please
Now
continue.
you're mocking me.
Continue. I want to
So
see
this
how
is
deep
why
that
I'll
hole
stay-
could get.
There's not a hole. I am saying flat out. Yes, the feeling.
Nothing more than.
All right, I'm quiet. I'm done. I'm done.
You don't want to finish this song?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
Anyway.
Yes. Anyway.
A lot of times, only the camera can see things. A lot of times, only that's true. I mean, there are times where the camera catches things that you don't see, and but there are a lot of times where whatever that the peripheral, you see things in the corner and you try as hard as you can to pan your eyes to where camera to where the eyes are.
It's impossible.
Bam, gone.
It's impossible.
That's happened to me a billion times, and it just
all of us.
It frustrates the crap out of you because then all you're left with is describing what you witnessed, just to document it on some level because you don't have the actual thing, the actual proof. So, I mean, that's how it goes sometimes.
It does. And I'm just saying in a general form kind of sense of thing. But yeah, it happens. I mean, not for nothing. We were doing a live at the Creeper Gallery where for whatever reason, there was a strong smell of fish that just came right through. And that makes no sense whatsoever. None when we were there that night. It was just the three of us. It was you, Tanya, and myself. And it made no sense. Now, I stated it because you could smell it, but you guys couldn't smell it. But I stated it because it had happened. And at that moment in that time, and I don't even remember what we were investigating when that happened or where it came from, but that was also the same night that the doors were rattling and things were banging, and it was kind of strange.
Yeah, personal experiences only count for so much. That's true, except for when you're, like when we do our events, like tomorrow night's a prime example of that. None of that's filmed, none of that's documented, but everybody in that group can or might have a personal experience that's going to maybe stick with them and something that they remember. And my first full body apparition, my only first full body apparition, Tanya saw it. Tanya and I saw it, but there's no proof of it anywhere. There was no camera. We were talking. It was in a hallway, and boom, there she was. And anybody wants to call me a liar, you call me a liar. I know exactly what I saw. Yeah. And I know it was real, but that's a personal experience, and I can never prove it. You just have to take my word.
And I think that the personal experiences are the ones that matter the most. I mean, yeah, when everybody can experience what you experience at the same time, that is unbelievable. But as a human being, to have something touch you, to have something whisper in your ear, to see a shadow figure or an apparition or something move or a door slam or something that you can't explain by logic, and it is paranormal, that's an experience that touches you and stays with you. So it has such a huge impact, and it is important. And I do think too, just like walking into a room that you haven't been into, when you walk in and you either feel a tension where maybe there was an argument right before, or you walk into a place and you feel like it's embracing you because there's such warmth and love and friendliness that you feel from it. I think all of these things are important. And when you experience walking into a room and you feel anger or you feel sadness or you feel, those are other aspects of the paranormal that you just, is it our intuitiveness that picks it up? Is it our intuition that picks it up? There's 50 million things. Is it the spirits that are making us feel it? Those are important. I'm just saying in an overall, when it's being filmed and we're just talking about it, we can't emote that to people watching and stuff. We can only just say it. And there's only so much of that you can put out there to get people to like, unless other stuff's going on too.
Yeah. What I'm going to end with is something I got to get off my chest. I said it on my personal page, and I'm going to say it here too. You know, I've been personally doing this a long time, and you know, doing events, doing other things involved in the paranormal, coming up with different ideas, even for the way we do our events and other things that we do. You know, a lot of years I've been trying to always kind of keep things fresh and new and come up with new things. And I had made the mistake, and I'm stopping doing this from this point on. Actually, from a couple of days ago when I said on my personal page, from that point on, but with you guys, this point on, I usually I have ideas and I blurt them out. That's one of the things I need to stop doing. I've had so many people just take my ideas and state them as their own and present them as this thing that they're doing and that they came up with. And I've gotten burned again and again and again. And this just happened this past week, where an event that I brought up for doing in October, you know, was literally just this person took it verbatim what I said and presented it as his own at doing it at this place. And I literally looked at this thing like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be. It didn't give me credit, didn't whatever. Just my idea. What do you think about doing something like this? And I was just like, are you kidding me? And I know this person, so it was just, you know, people don't get, you know, in the paranormal field, this goes on all the time, everywhere, on many different levels, and I know people say, you know, imitation is flattery and blah blah blah.
No, it's not.
It's great unless it's happening to you and you get frustrated.
And your hard work.
Yeah, I mean, because you put a lot into things, and again, I'm not going to blurt out any ideas that I have anymore here, or you know, on my personal page or whatever, because I really would like to save those things for you guys and the people that come and watch us and come to our events, and have them be seen for the first time or experienced for the first time with people that support us and people that follow us. So, you know, I'm not, you know, and this thing really, the whole entire day I was so PO'd, because the way this person, it was literally verbatim of what I said on this live feed. He's probably watching right now. So that's it. No more ideas. Done. Come up with your own, do your own thing. Not for me anymore. So it did aggravate me, because again, it's not easy coming up with things, and I get really excited. That you guys know this about me. I'm very passionate. I'm very excited. So when something hits me, I share it. You know, that's, you know, something that I need to stop doing, and I will stop doing. If and when you see it, it'll be the first time with you guys, and it'll be on a live, or it'll be in person at an event. But yeah, no more mentioning that stuff. Yeah, no more out there. Yeah, they're watching, and they are. They right are now. They are. You right there. I see you. But on another note, I do want to, because Rachel caught him with her son, just said bonjour to both of us and said thank you for all the support with her son. Same back to you, Rachel, and we hope that your son is doing so much better. That is one courageous young man that you have there. He definitely is a lesson to all of us in perseverance and never giving up. So kudos to you, Mom. He's a phenomenal boy. Phenomenal. Don't point at me, Kathy. If you think you're one of those people, then there's another one for you. And for anybody else, there's Kathy's one for funny. All of you. I love her sense of humor. Okay? if you do think this is for you and you deserve it, then by all means, take a screenshot and look at it every day. All right, guys. So that'll do it. Tomorrow night, Strauss Mansion live event. Should be a good one, even though it's going to be a hot one. You know, again, we like being around people. We like doing in-person ghost hunts. We like, again, me personally, I like, it's my lab. I love seeing how different people affect the spirits in a building, one way or another. Tomorrow, it's not going to be live in it. It's going to be in person public ghost hunt with people that follow us. So it's good to meet people face to face. I know some of you said you were going to be there. Looking forward to meeting you. But there'll be other chances. Again, Gettysburg next week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be in town the entire weekend. Very cool. And then other events. Go check out the website, NewJerseyParanormal.com, and come to one of our events. Hang out with us. Join us. It's this in person. How much fun could that be?
What you see is what you get.
You got it. All right, guys. Have a
Be
good night. We'll see
safe.
you soon.
Love you all. Be kind.